So have you ever dealt with somebody that always asks you for money? Like it seemed like every time you get paid, all of a sudden something comes up and they're coming to you to save them?
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad?
Thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Kela Trishaan and I make videos on lifestyle, womanhood, mental health, and I'll throw in some blogs here and there. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about money leeches. So my definition of a money leech is somebody that literally leeches onto you and sucks your money away. Somebody who always comes to you asking you for cash, never pays you back, has excuses as to why they can't pay you back, and pretty much acts entitled. So if you've ever dealt with someone like that or are dealing with someone like that and just kind of need some tips to get away from the situation or get out of it, go on ahead and stay tuned. Disclaimer. I'm not talking about people that come to you for money because they genuinely fell on hard times. Those situations are case by case and you deal with them how you see fit. I don't see anything wrong with giving somebody money because they fell on hard times. And if you're in a position to help, why not? I'm talking about people that have not necessarily fallen on hard times. They just haven't gotten themselves out of whatever situation they're in, or they're complacent in the situation that they're in and you're basically putting the bill. I'm talking about those people. So just want to put that out there because I'm not saying not to let people borrow money, but you need to really pay attention to signs that you're getting taken advantage of. Okay, so my first tip for dealing with a money leech is to never let someone borrow your last. Now, I've been in situations where I've been given a compelling story or, it just seems super serious. Or I've been kind of put in a position where if I don't give the money, then person can't pay their rent or person can't pay their car note or whatever. And I've given the money knowing that I didn't really have it to give, with the expectation that I would get it back when the person said they would. And when that date came around, either they were nowhere to be found or there was an excuse as to why I didn't have my money back. So now I'm put in a position where I need to figure out how I'm going to pay said bill or how I'm going to cover whatever I had planned for that money. And that can ruin relationships. One, I know personally, I will want to either beat your ass depending on who you are, or I just may not talk to you anymore because it's effed up. What I had to learn, and what you should learn if you're going through a situation like this, is if the person is not responsible enough to take care of their own affairs, why would they be responsible enough to think about yours, right? Like, your affairs have nothing to do with them. So you could tell them like, hey, I need this money back by such and such day. But in a lot of cases, that person doesn't really care. They're just trying to get the money from you to take care of whatever they need to take care of at the time. So the best way to protect yourself in those situations is to just simply not give away your last. At the end of the day, especially if you're dealing with another adult, they're going to figure out how to get what they need to get done. And what they have going on shouldn't burden your life, and it shouldn't put you in a bad position for trying to help. So if you know that you don't have it to give, if you know that it's an amount of money that could potentially hurt you if you don't get it back, just simply don't give it. You'll save the relationship and you'll save your own finances. Okay, so my second tip is if you do decide to let a money leech hold money or whatever, because situations are different. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, whatever. Everybody's reason for giving money is different, but if you choose to give the money, give an amount that you don't care if you get back ever. Even if the person tells you that they're gonna pay you back, make sure that when you give money, you are giving it. Obviously, it's nice to get back, but you don't want giving that money to ruin a relationship or, again, to put you in a bad position, just like in my first tip. So if somebody asks to borrow maybe $40 and that's easy, and if you don't get it back, it's not gonna make or break you, cool. Let them borrow the $40 if you feel, if it's on your heart to give it, go on ahead and do it. But if, let's say, they're asking for $1,000 and you know that that's gonna hurt you, don't give it. Just don't give it. So that's kind of how I operate these days. Like, if I do let somebody borrow money, I go in with one, like, who am I letting borrow this money? What's their track record? And then two, if I don't get this money back, am I going to want to hurt them? Am I going to want to never speak to them again? Because if that's the case, if that amount of money will put me in a position where I'm not gonna deal with that person anymore, then I'm just not going to give it. So give as if you're not going to ever receive it again. My third tip for dealing with the money leech is do not be afraid to call someone out if they're coming back to you asking you for money and they still haven't paid back the last amount. You need to hold people accountable at all times. This goes back to setting boundaries and showing people how to treat you. So I've had situations, this whole video came about because I've been in this situation before. So let me just go ahead and put that out there. And it's probably clear because I'm so passionate about it. But a lot of times when you call people out about not paying you back, that becomes an excuse. And then people want to treat you as if you're being mean to them because you're not basically just feeding into their bullshit, right? If someone is not paying you back and they're continually coming to you asking for money, you need to call them out, hold them accountable. Let them know like, hey, I see what you're doing and I'm not going to continue giving you money. I'm not going to allow you to borrow again until I get back A, B, and C. Or I'm not going to let you borrow money ever again because you have a problem paying people back. Like, you need to just let people know straight up. You probably don't have to be that aggressive if you don't want to. I personally am because I just feel like it's not something that I would do to somebody. If I'm borrowing money from you and I say I'm going to pay it back by a certain date, I'm going to pay it back. And if I did not have the money, or like if it was a situation where I knew I wasn't going to have it, you know, anytime soon, I would just let you know, hey, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to pay you back, but I need X, Y, and Z. That's how I operate, but I also understand that just because I operate a certain way does not mean that other people will operate that way. But that doesn't mean that they don't need to be held accountable. So if you have a situation where you've let somebody borrow $20, $40, $100, whatever, and they keep coming back to you asking for more and more and more and not paying back any of the previous money, then you need to make it clear, hey, can't just keep giving you money and you not giving me the money back. Like, I'm not going to work to fund your life. I'm going to work to fund my life or my family's life or whatever. So you're gonna have to start paying me back and or stop asking. Like, I'd appreciate both, but if you're gonna keep asking, then I'm gonna need you to start paying me back. So call people out, hold them accountable, and don't be afraid, because at the end of the day, they're coming to you because they need something and it's your money. So respect it. Tell them to respect it. Tell them to put some respect on your name, okay? And your money. All right, so my last tip, honestly, is real simple. Like, it's real simple. You could simply just say no. That's it. Like, you don't have to give an explanation. That's the thing, right? I think that we are conditioned, especially women, right? Especially women. When we are doing something that someone doesn't like, or when we're not appeasing someone, right? We feel the need to explain. Like, oh no, I don't have it. No, whatever excuse we decide to, you know, enter in there. Really, if somebody comes to you and you know that they have a habit of not paying people back, you could just look them in the eye and say, no. Like, just straight up no. They don't really have a right to ask you for an explanation, because at the end of the day, it's your cash. So if you don't want to give it for whatever reason, maybe you're just feeling a little stingy. Maybe you're like, you know what? I went to work. My bank account looks nice. I plan on doing this, that, and the third with it. That is your prerogative, because you know what? It's your money, right? So get comfortable with that sentence, because no is a full sentence. So if you don't have anything else to add to it, if you don't want to add anything else to it, just say no. Hey, Kela, can I borrow $50? No. And then we both looking at each other. We both looking at each other stupid with that awkward silence. The answer is no. Go ask somebody else, because you've already asked me too many times. You haven't paid me back, so the answer is no. All right, you guys, so that's all I have for today. Now, normally when I do like tip videos, I like to do like 5 tips, right? But I can only come up with 4 for this one. And I think that's because you really don't need that many reasons not to let somebody take advantage of you. These are just some basic tips, but in all honesty, if you feel like you are being taken advantage of by someone, somebody who has the means to go out and get the money, somebody who has the means to make better choices, and they choose not to, don't let them abuse you or abuse your bank account. Life is not all about money. It's not. That's why I said in the beginning that this is a disclaimer. And if you're dealing with somebody who genuinely falls upon hard times, by all means, if you can help them, help them. You know, I do think that we get rewarded when we act out of the goodness of our heart. And I'm not saying to do things for reward, but if you feel it in your heart and you feel like you could genuinely bless somebody and help them, then you should do it. But a money leech is somebody who does not need a blessing. They need a reality check. They need to figure out how to go and get it on their own. And the reason why I say that is because what if you weren't around, right? Like, what would they do if they weren't able to come to you? Would they figure it out, or would they just not pay for what they need to pay for, right? Don't become somebody's crutch. Don't become somebody's doormat, because like, we all work hard for what we have. We all work hard for our money. And it's not fair that somebody looks at that and they say, oh, okay, well, instead of me taking care of my own business, I'm gonna go to her and just get the money from her, or I'm not gonna pay her back or whatever. Like, for me, that is a level of disrespect that, again, I've dealt with in the past. I don't deal with now. Like, I have graduated to a different part of my life where I just don't allow certain things in my life. People know that if you are that money leech, you know not to come and ask me for shit. You know not to come ask me, because the answer is going to be no. You're not going to take money out of my family's mouth. You're not going to take money out of my kids' mouth, because you don't know how to pay people back. Again, if it's somebody that I know is trying, I see you trying, and I have it to give, and I can just help you out without hindering what I got going on, then by all means, I got you. But if you have a habit of, just pretty much using people, and you're not doing what you need to do to take care of your own stuff, then you may as well not even come to me, because you're going to end up feeling real stupid and you're going to be real embarrassed. So I don't even want to be negative. So I'm going to turn this around and say, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go on ahead and give me a big fat thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more content like this, like more real content, like real situations like this that can kind of be taboo and uncomfortable to talk about, let me know in the comments, because I hesitate sometimes doing videos like this because I don't want to come off as negative, but these are things that some of us really deal with and just don't know how to handle. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.
They don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your back, it's like I never knew you. Lead that.